7 races down, 2 to go here at the Continental Tire Grand Prix of Louisiana. Welcome back, folks, to NOLA Motorsports Park. My name is Rob Howden, the voice of the series, joined by the driver looking for that first win here in 2025. It's been a good weekend so far for Thomas Schrag from VRD Racing. A second, a third, and he's going to start P2 here for race number 3. Thomas, you guys have been working hard on this car. It's getting better. You were racy all weekend long. What do you do to win here? What can you do to beat Liam McNeely?
I think just disrupt his momentum, really. He's been out front in the lead a lot, and I know what that's like in previous series. So it's definitely tough to break that momentum when a driver is rolling like that. But, you know, I feel like our car races better than anyone else's car. And obviously I've shown that. You know, I made a mistake in qualifying, started 10th, drove to 3rd, yesterday. And this morning fell all the way to 6th, drove back up to 2nd. I think we can do it. I think if I just put consistent laps together, try to hold him off, and just want it more, I think I can get that win today.
You know, I think momentum and confidence, of course, he's got that, but you do too. If there's anybody else, you're the one that has that momentum and confidence. You've moved forward. You haven't been one that's been held back. Have you guys made any changes for the higher temperatures this afternoon compared to this morning?
Yeah, we've made a couple changes. Not huge. I feel like for me, little things can affect everything. So we're already in a good spot. Don't want to change too much. We're far into the weekend. Driving style doesn't change. He might be quicker, but I just have to outrace him.
Do you think long-term at all? I know everybody's wanted to be the guy that's able to put him down a peg, right? Get him off the top of the spot. But do you still think long-term championship, another podium finish would be solid for you again? You're getting big points here this weekend.
I would say so, but I think at this point, after St. Pete and then 2 races here, we're 4 races in, and I think I'm already like 50 behind. So I'm willing to risk it at this point. I want to win. I've wanted it for a long time, so maybe he'll settle down a little bit and realize that I just want it more.
That's one of the things about it, folks. Thomas Schrag really hadn't had a chance to get a full season in. He's full season here with VRD Racing this year. He has the talent, we know, to win this championship. He's got to get in front. He needs to want it more. He knows he wants it more. Liam McNeely better watch out. Race number 3 could be interesting. It's coming up next. USF 2000 capping off the weekend here at NOLA Motorsports Park.
You can feel confident Continental is the smart choice in tires.
And they handle extremes?
Yep. Tested from the Texas desert to near the Arctic Circle.
Really?
Really.
Anything for the guy who finds that one pothole?
Yeah. Road hazard coverage has your back.
For real?
Absolutely.
Were they made by, like, a bajillion engineers?
Well, closer to 100. Continental. Welcome to the smart choice in tires.
We've been on the track for 4 straight days, and again, watching ourselves go through testing, practice, qualifying 1, qualifying 2, a couple of races already. In fact, USF Juniors is already done and in the books for their first triple header of the 2025 season. Just 2 more races still to roll out here, and it is USF 2000, followed by USF Pro 2000. Excited to get things underway. You can see that shot there. One of the Mustangs, the USAC Mustang Series cars, had some issues on pit lane. They're still working to get that car up on a flatbed to get it off pit lane so we can get ready to roll. Otherwise, the drivers here at USF 2000 just rolling out onto pit lane to get things underway. And as we know, 19 of those drivers set to roll. Do want to take the opportunity as well to let you know that I've got a USF Juniors driver beside me from Exclusive Autosport. Brendan Cooley will be my driver analyst here. We'll talk to him throughout the race. We'll hopefully get him as well on the opening lap to discuss the 3 races he had to start off his 2025 campaign. But again, one of the 14 rookies as part of the USF Juniors program. Let's get things underway while we have the time. Let's have a look at the grid for race number 3 for USF 2000. Everybody but 2 drivers rather, using their second best qualifying run. 2 drivers actually using their race 2 lap time to improve and move forward. Let's start with the driver starting at the tail of the field right now, Lucas Facuri, who has been running up front. He's been a top 12, top 15 driver all weekend. Lucas Facuri for Exclusive Autosport, the Brazilian in the 91, having to use that second-best race time, a 1:35.486 to put him 19th on the grid, but he has way more pace than that. I expect Facuri to work his way up to try to fight potentially into a top 10 position. Row 9 will have Synergy Motorsports' Eddie Beswick in the number 30. Beswick will, again, roll off from the 18th position. Let's have a look at where he actually finished in that second race. And again, a lot of the drivers having much better results here in race number 2. Beswick was able to work his way up into the 14th position. So, indeed, hasn't had the pace he's hoping for, but they look good. They've been developing the car throughout the weekend. Eddie Beswick in that number 30, starting 18th, alongside Ryan Janetta, the driver out of California, in the VRD, number 99 from Redondo Beach. Janetta starting in the 17th position. He was, I believe, he had the issues in race number 2. We'll go now into row number 8. Vian Boshoff from South Africa, the Sarah Fisher Hartman Racing Development pilot in the 67, will start in the 16th spot outside of row number 8, alongside Ayrton Hauk for Benchmark Autosport. Hauk out of Indiana doing whatever he can to put a positive spin at the end of this weekend. He had a rough start, issues with the engine, manifold, drove off track with a broken pushrod, but has been able to fight his way back forward to salvage this weekend 10th in race number 2 for Ayrton Hauk. And again, the first season for the Benchmark Autosport team. Hauk could have started on the inside of row number 8, P15. Row 7 will see Timmy Carell, the driver to Pacific Palisades, California for J. Howard Driver Development. Carell got himself up into the top 10 as well in race number 2, starting 14th here. He was 9th in the second race of the triple header. He'll start on the outside of row 7 alongside Sebastian Garzone. It has not gone well for Garzone overall on the weekend. Was able to salvage a solid 6th place finish in race number 2, but he's going to be starting right now on the inside of row number 7. Row 6 will be Anthony Martella, the Canadian for J. Howard Driver Development in the number 9. Martella was 7th in race number 1, number 2. Another top 10 would be strong for him. Martella looking to stack those top 10s as he looks forward to the remainder of the season. He'll be alongside Austin, Texas driver Brady Golan for D-Force Racing in the number 18. Row 5 will have Joshua Leonel for D-Force Racing in the number 11, starting in a 10th spot alongside Christian Cameron of Sonoma, California in the VRD Racing number 19. Both drivers USF 2000 rookies. Up now to row number 4, rookies once again on the outside. Caleb Gaffera in the number 24, 4th place in race number 2, so looking to build on that momentum. The Pabst Racing driver starting 8th alongside Teddy Masella in the VRD number 25. Masella as well in the top 10, finishing in 8th. Row 6 will have Brad Majman, the Aussie for J. Howard Driver Development in that number 7, bouncing back from an issue in race number 2. He'll start in the outside of row 3, looking to attack once again. Remember, he started on the outside of the front row for race number 1 yesterday. The speed there for Brad Majman in the number 7. Watch for him to be in the middle of the battle. He'll start right alongside Jack Jeffers, the Exclusive Autosport on the driver on the inside of row number 3. P5 for Jeffers in the number 92. 3 straight podium finishes to start the season. Fell a little bit further back in race number 2. You can be guaranteed that Jeffers looking to press the reset button to get himself back onto the podium here for race number 3. Row number 2 will be Evan Cooley out of Illinois in the number 90 for Exclusive Autosport. Cooley able to get himself to the podium for the first time here in 2025, P3 in race number 2. That driver will start 4th alongside G3 Argyros from Pabst Racing in the number 23, who joined me in the booth earlier today for a race call. 19 drivers in the field, 2 on the front row. Off pole, Thomas Schrag. He has had a strong weekend so far. Talked to him, of course, in the pre-show. Schrag out of Bethel, Ohio for VRD Racing in that number 2 machine. He's been on the podium 2 races in a row. And as he said, he needs to make sure that Liam McNeely knows that he wants it more. Liam's got 4 straight wins. Does he need to win the 5th? He'd love to, but he doesn't need to win it. And that may be the opening that Schrag needs if he starts getting super aggressive, try to get himself out front. But the driver up front, he has been the fastest driver outright all week long. Fastest driver at St. Petersburg as well. Talk about confidence, talk about momentum. It's all going in the right direction for the English driver, Liam McNeely, out of London, England. J. Howard Driver Development, the number 6. He won here last year in juniors. He's also the race winner here, as we know, 2 victories already for Liam McNeely. 19 drivers in the field. McNeely and Schrag on row 1. Argyros and Cooley row 2. Jefferson Majman row 3. Masella and Gaffera row 4. Cameron and Leonel on row 5. Golan and Martella row 6. Garzone and Carroll row 7. Hauk and Boshoff row 8. Giannetta and Beswick row 9 for Curie on row number 10. Drivers getting themselves off the grid through turn number 1. Say hello to all those of you tuned into the USF Pro TV YouTube channel. Hopefully you're having a fantastic afternoon. We know that Long Beach is coming up. Number of people chiming in on the chat. Hope you guys are ready to enjoy a great race. I have not yet been on the racetrack. I've talked about this before. The guy beside me right now, Brendan Cooley, just 15 years of age, has 3 times this weekend wheel to wheel. Brendan, give me your thoughts. How do you think the weekend went for you? You and I talked before about top 10s would be good, knowing that there's 8 drivers coming back for another season. Overall, are you happy with the way the weekend went?
Yeah, I'm pretty happy. I mean, first race, just like getting ready like for the season, learning as much as I can. I think finished P11.
Yeah.
Not mad with the result, but obviously always looking to improve.
100%.
And then race 2, I finished P8. So pretty happy with that. I feel like I drove really great that race. And then I finished off the weekend with another P11, just shy of top 10. But I'm not mad. You know, learned a lot. We'll take it into the rest of the season and just scored some good points this weekend.
Yeah, you said we talk about scoring good points. I always have that first check mark. When you roll that car back to the trailer and the team can just roll it in, it doesn't come back on the hook. It doesn't come back on the tow truck or the flatbed. That's the first check mark. That means you've done a good job. You were able to get into a couple of really aggressive races, some side-by-side banging there in race number 3. I think you'll take this as a pretty solid baseline to get underway, right? You go to Barber Motorsports Park in a couple of weeks. What are your thoughts on heading to that fantastic racetrack?
Yeah, it's a really fun racetrack. The elevation makes it really fun. And what the thing about that racetrack, qualifying is really important.
Agreed, yeah.
Because the straightaways are very short and there's not a lot of passing opportunities. So I feel like my best session this weekend was qualifying 2.
Right.
And I learned a lot on how to qualify, and I think I'll be strong at Barber.
He's got a couple of top 11 positions. So we talked about the 8th place in race number 2. Brendan Cooley joining me here in the booth. We'll come to Brendan when we need to throughout the session here. Hopefully we'll go green to checker with the drivers in USF 2000. We'll have to keep him calm down because his brother Evan's in this race here as well. He'll be watching Evan very closely, no doubt about that. Honda Civic Type R pace car heads off into pit lane. It is time to go racing. McNeely on the inside, Schrag on the outside. Thomas knows that he has got to do something. He's significantly back in points after a rough St. Petersburg. He needs a race win here. And will he be the driver to end the streak for Liam McNeely? He starts on pole. Field looking good. Look up top. And no, the yellow flag will come out. We don't have a start. Not quite sure what happened there, but race control. Not happy. We do see, if you look at the top of the screen, there's a driver slowing in the back, potentially coming to pit lane. There's the number 18, yeah. Trouble there for Brady Golan. Man, it's been a rough weekend for Brady as he slows. Not exactly sure. Maybe they thought that he was going to come and not be able to get to even to pit lane. He doesn't look like he's potentially under power. Field will set themselves back up again. Again, this race, 15 laps. 15 laps or 45 minutes, the time window for the drivers here in USF 2000. Brendan, you got an older brother running in the USF 2000 program. He ran in USF Juniors last year. Did you guys sit down? I never did this with my brother, my kid brother, but did you guys sit down because he has the experience? Did you talk a little bit about his experiences coming through what he learned during his year in juniors?
Yeah, it helps a lot having a brother who went through the season, because before races I can sit down with him at home, look over video, and just study like for the race weekend. Yeah. And you know, you can always study so much, but nothing beats having on-track experience.
That's true.
So he can share that with me, and it really helps going into race weekends.
And I know you came to a lot of races last year, and you were just itching to be able to get out here and drive. How does it feel to finally not have to be on the sidelines? I know you did at Road America last year, but you got a full season in front of you. I got to feel you got to feel pretty relieved you're actually going racing this year.
Yeah, it's great. You know, last year I was actually so desperate to drive, I went to the rental car track just to scratch the itch a little bit. But
I love that.
This is definitely a lot better, and I'm really excited for this season.
Yeah, I'm proud of you. You did a great job. Again, a couple of top 11 finishes, 3 all told, 2 11th, and an 8th place finish. I always say, try to get through this opening weekend, rolling that car back to the trailer every time. If you've done that, that's job one. You'll gain the experience moving forward. Pace car is actually coming back out onto pit lane. I'm not exactly right. It was looking like it was going to come out. It may be coming to meet the field once again. No, now it's backing up. So we look like we're potentially going to go green. I'm not sure yet. They're working their way out again of turn number 13. Field is set. Looking good now. Here we go. Do we get the green flag this time by for McNeely? We do. Green, green, green. Racing down into turn number 1. Watch him fan out. 3 wide further back. Inside move for McNeely. Schrag's going to have to force the issue. He knows it. He's going to throw it deep into the corner. Big wide outside run for Thomas Schrag. He'll stay on the loud pedal. Not quite enough because a great run through turn number 1 for Liam McNeely. He'll take the spot. Next opportunity for Schrag. We to throw it down the inside of turn number 3. Not quite close enough. Little lockup though on that left front for McNeely. Could that play a factor later in the run? Forced very quickly. Here's a big move to the inside for Cooley. He's looking to the inside of G3 Argyros. Cooley throws it across the bow. He may actually maybe getting challenged here by Jack Jeffers further back. The 2 exclusive Autosport teammates side by side, I believe, coming through the corner. So we're underway for the opening circuit. The drone giving us a great shot there. You can see Liam McNeely so good here on the cold tires. And again, I don't think you can really discount confidence and what it means to one of these young drivers. You just feel like you can do anything on the racetrack. There are corners that you're taking flat out that maybe even your coach wouldn't do. You just feel on top of the world like everything's going to work for you, and that's what we've got right now for Liam McNeely. He's trying to win the first 5 races of the season. Second place overall last year in USF Juniors. Really probably could have challenged for the championship if not for a couple of incidents that gave him some very low point scores on race weekends. Otherwise, the opening lap here playing out fairly well. We'll see how they stack up. We'll give you a full field rundown when they come out here. Couple drivers up on the top of the curbing there, side by side, coming out of turn number 13. Why not? You got to hold on for that one. Man, that's pucker factor coming out of that corner side by side there. Sideways coming through the corner as well. McNeely is your leader. Second place, Schrag. Watch some of this further back as they're trying to fight it out again here. So Schrag runs in second, Argyros third, Jeffers fourth, Cooley fifth, Musella sixth, Cameron seventh, Gaffera now eighth, Martella ninth, and Joshua Leonel in 10th. 11th is Sebastian Garzone, 12th, Carell, 13th, Leonel, 14th, Hauk, Fakiri, Janetta, Beswick, and Bossoff. And again, the issue early with Brady Golan into pit lane, likely some kind of mechanical on the 18. Brendan, how much easier is it to watch an opening lap from here in the booth than it is behind the wheel of the race car?
It's definitely a lot less stress, I would say. But I definitely prefer to be in the start. Nothing beats it. Nothing beats the front row seat.
Oh, I agree with you. The starts are some of the favorites when you're driving anything. It's karts, cars, I don't care. The starts are so much fun. The anticipation of that green and then reacting to everybody as you work through the first couple of corners. McNeely 1.1 second out already. Schrag was doing everything he could to put himself ahead of him, but that has not happened as of yet. And again, we talked about how much quicker Liam McNeely was during the race there. He was a half a second faster than the next quickest driver. Look at this deal. We're going to go hardcore side by side through the corner. That is the, I believe, the number 8 of Timothy Carell. He's got his teammate on the outside. That's the number 9 of Anthony Martella. They are going at it. Carell trying to move his way forward. Indeed. See that battle a bit further back. 3 wide, deeper in the field. Why not? One of the drivers on the inside going to throw it down the bottom. Thinking about 4 wide? I wouldn't do that. Deep into the corner. Nicely done coming through there. This is good stuff. That's Ayrton Hauk right there. That is Hauk. I want to say Lucas Fakuri. And behind them as well, Timmy Carell. So Anthony Martella in there. Lucas Fakuri up on the wheel trying to push super hard, as is Ayrton Hauk. Again, I said earlier in the driver's intro that he's trying to really save what's been a really rough weekend for him. They did not start the weekend well at all. An engine issue and a cracked header. Then off the racetrack in qualifying 1. Finally able to get a good qualifying, at least a decent qualifying in 2. And again, that's allowed him to start a little further up the field in race 2, or this one, race 3, though, starting back in 15th. Hauk looks like he's in a position to start moving his way forward. So indeed, early laps, the battle from about 11th on back, maybe one of the most heated scraps on the racetrack right now. 3 laps in. Brendan, opening couple of laps, I know you're hectic, right? You are trying to make those split-second decisions. You're reacting to what's happening on track. Is it about lap 3, lap 4, where you kind of start settling into that groove? You're in a pack, you kind of understand where you are. Hey, I'm 10th, or I've got myself up to 7th. Is it about that 3 or 4 lap mark where you really settle in?
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's a lot of adrenaline going through at the start, but after that, it kind of calms down. and then you can really think like, okay, I really need to hit my marks, find a groove, obviously try and push, but don't make any crazy mistakes this early in the race.
Who's normally on your radio, and did they talk to you at all in the first couple of laps, or did they leave you alone?
I have my engineer, Braden Eves.
Yep.
He calls the greens for me, and then he really helps me get into the rhythm, reminds me just hit your marks, look forward, and just keep doing what you know how to do and just move forward.
I've heard of that guy before. Braden Eves, a former USF 2000 champion, as we know. Last year winning the Freedom 90 in USF Pro 2000. Couple of brake lockups here. That's tough. You got to watch yourself when you're locking the brake here. We saw it with Liam McNeely over in turn number 3 on the opening circuit. McNeely, Schrag, Argyros, Jeffers, Cooley. That is currently your top 5. And there is Jeffers. There is Evan Cooley right there in that number 90 exclusive Autosport machine. I got his brother beside me here, Brendan Cooley, who had a great weekend here in USF Juniors to start off the program. Of course, 6 weekends overall for USF Juniors, 1 down, all of them triple header weekends to give them 18 races on the season. They'll look to Barber Motorsports Park on the opening weekend of May. What do you think about going to run with the NTT IndyCar Series? That's going to be a fun weekend.
Yeah, it'll be really cool. There will be a lot of fans there, get to meet people, but it adds a little more stakes. You know, you want to win in front of everyone, and it really adds some fun to the weekend.
How about IndyCar rubber, too? Sooner or later, you're going to get out there after IndyCar's been on track. It's going to feel a bit different. I'm sure the crews talk to you about that a little bit.
Yeah, that'll be fun to really feel how the track changes throughout the day, more rubber, and same with, it can get hot in Alabama, so that can really affect the handling of the car, and it's a challenge, but it's a fun challenge.
And that's a lot about what we're doing here, folks, with this driver development program, bringing these kids in from kart racing or F1600, whatever it may be, and jumping them into this USF Juniors car, this Tatis JR23. There's so much they have to learn about different track conditions, the events themselves. So, again, Brendan very early on in his journey as he focuses on trying to get to IndyCar himself. There's the lockup there again, coming into turn number 4 for Thomas Schrag. He's done it a couple times, locked it up going into the corner, and G3 Argyros, who sat beside me here earlier for that USF Juniors race, or rather USF Pro 2000 race, is up on the wheel right now. He is trying to chase Schrag into making a mistake, but Thomas already has 2 podiums on the weekend. Sure, Liam McNeely is pulling away and really has dominated the first half of the season thus far, but drivers like Jack Jeffers, like Thomas Schrag, are trying to stack up a bunch of podiums to make sure they don't let Liam McNeely get too far away. Because, he's been the dominant driver here at St. Pete, dominant driver so far at NOLA. But when you get to Indy, things change. Exclusive Autosport was quick at Indy last year. We know that, Brendan. Your brother was on the pole position there, ended up getting to the podium as well, so they got a good hot rod there. And then you go to tracks like Mid-Ohio, and then onto the oval as well. Are you thinking about doing some oval testing this year, maybe? I know you're not going to run in the race, but maybe some oval testing later in the year. Have you thought about that?
Definitely. I mean, experience is experience. You know, it's nothing beats seat time. And when I eventually, I plan to move up to USF 2000, and then it'll help me get, an extra step against the competition to get that experience in early.
I agree with that, 100%. This is battle for second spot, Thomas Schrag and G3 Argyros. And listen, folks, it's a carbon copy of the first couple races of the year. 3 second the advantage here right now for McNeely. Schrag has got Argyros on the gearbox. At least he was coming right through turn number 3. Lost a bit of air there. A big wide run again for Schrag. Couldn't get the car to come down to the apex. He still leverages it. Runs his way through 4. Back through turn number 5. A little lift coming through that corner there. As we heard talking to G3 Argyros, kind of give us a little insight on what it takes to get around the back part of this racetrack, turn 5, 6, and 7. Remember, those of you tuning in here, one more race to go, USF Pro 2000. Quick little look at everybody here on the chat. Hope you guys are having a good time. A little shout out to those of you, Brendan and I, watching the chat here as well. The drivers moving up as well. Ayrton Hauk up into 11th. That battle we saw with Martella, Fakuri, Timothy Carell. Great job for Ayrton Hauk. He has now got himself up into the 11th position. Hauk started 15th, so +4. Again, just trying to salvage what has been a tough weekend, at least a tough start to the weekend. He's had a good day here today on a Sunday. All right, what does Argyros have here? He knows the same thing. He sees that driver up front. 4 different teams in the top 5 right now, or top 4 as well, top 5. Jay Howard Driver Development leads the way. VRD Racing in 2nd, Paps Racing 3rd, Exclusive Autosport in 4th. EA in 5th as well with Evan Cooley. Those teammates, Jack Jeffers and Evan Cooley, 4th and 5th. Lucas Fakuri has worked his way up into the 13th spot. Remember, he started at the very tail of the field. He was last. He was 19th. He's already worked his way up to 13th, so +6 for the Brazilian Lucas Fakuri. And again, all of that, if you look at the body work from a team, yeah, everybody's trying to get that driver championship, but there's also that team championship that's up for grabs. Jay Howard currently running P1, 11 and 12 of their top 3 drivers. Schrag for VRD in 2nd. Then you go back to Musella and Cameron, 6th and 7th. Pabst has Argyros in 3rd. Gaffera in 8th. Exclusive is 4th, 5th, and 13th. Again, watching this fight here, not so much a fight anymore. Schrag's been able to pull away a little bit last time by, gained about a 10th. A little further back, though. Here's that battle coming out of 8 and 9. What do we got here for a fight? Big move to the inside, potentially. That might be Caleb Gaffera grabbing a spot. I think that is. Gaffera by Christian Cameron at the end of the back straightaway. Book it. He is through. Gaffera makes a move for P7. Caleb Gaffera started 8th, kind of where he ran. He was that driver that was trying to make the move to the inside. It didn't quite work for him. I think he lost a couple of spots, but he's pressed the reset button and he's moving back forward. So Gaffera, who is now by Cameron, will move him up into the 7th spot. Teddy Musella is the driver in front of him, but he's up the road by about a second. Last time by, however, Caleb Gaffera half a second quicker than Musella. Let's keep an eye on that black and white machine. He is moving. Driver to Charlotte, North Carolina, Caleb Gaffera. Ran Skip Barber a couple of years ago and did some British F1600 racing in 2024. A lot of karting back home at Trackhouse Motorplex in Mooresville. Did a little bit of sports car racing as well with the World Racing League. First year here in the USF Pro Championships. On the podium, as we know, in St. Petersburg, but got into the wall over in turn number 4 to hurt his chances there to be too far up in the points. Again, an issue in race number 1, race number 2, Gaffera finishing 4th. So it's kind of been that hot and cold season so far for Gaffera, but he's shown the speed that he has. The next fight could be coming up for him. Let's watch this as they work their way through turn number 8 and 9. I think that is now Evan Cooley getting challenged big time here by Musella. So that will be the next battle here for Gaffera to get up to the Musella Cooley scrap. That is for P5 and 6. And Cooley on the podium in race number 2, trying to stack those points up to make sure he stays in the championship contention before it's all said and done. Here's Cameron and Garzone. Christian Cameron and Sebastian Garzone. Cameron out of Sonoma, California. Garzone, the Lucas Oil School of Racing Formula Car Series champion from last year to Bogota, Colombia. Won both of the junior races at this past year's Supercarts USA Super Nationals in Las Vegas. So that's a feat that's only been done 2 other times. That's them there. Cameron in the VRD, red and black machine. Then right behind him, the blue and white. Sebastian Garzone. Brendan, you were in the middle of a bunch of hardcore battles throughout, I think, almost all of your races there. When you're trying to hunt somebody down, is your approach to really try to wear them down, kind of show that nose? I know a lot of you drivers like to tuck a nose here and there, or are you just right behind them trying to stay on their gearbox?
Well, you want to apply pressure because it can cause a driver in front to make a mistake, and it's an easy pass without you losing a lot of time. But you just really try and hit your marks. Obviously, just focus forward and just do everything you can to get past that driver. I had
Joey Brienza in the booth here, your team in Exclusive Autosport, talking about USF Pro and the aero wash there. Again, G3 Argyros talked a little bit about it. Could you feel the aero wash for you guys too? I know you don't have a lot of downforce on the USF junior cars, but did it play a factor in trying to make overtakes?
Yes, definitely. You could feel the car get light through the high-speed turns.
Yeah, I just start losing that, right? You get that understeer that you don't want to have. You're like, I got this move, I'm going to run. Well, maybe I don't. More wheel in it, right?
Yeah.
All right, we are looking at lap number 9. Remember, 15 for USF 2000. So when they come back around here, call it lap number 10. 5 laps to go for Liam McNeely. Can he do 5 straight victories? 4.8 seconds up. This kid is on another level right now. It is all working. And it's something that feeds itself. I always say that wins breed wins. The minute you get that first victory, sometimes it'll open up the floodgates and you'll be able to win more because you start getting the confidence. But when a driver like Liam McNeely, who was runner-up last year in juniors, jumps into that car and really has confidence in the car, He's got confidence in his engineers. That's when it happens. Here's the battle here further back. That's a move by Garzone to the inside. Book it. He's through as well over in turn number 3. Moves Sebastian Garzone by Christian Cameron for P8. Remember, Garzone had a rough one driving over the top of Argyros in race number 1. Race 2, he finished 6th. He's back up now here into the 8th position. Garzone started 13th, so +5 on the race for Sebastian Garzone. He's pretty quick. He's going to see if he can't get up the road to Gafera. Caleb was about a 10th quicker than Masella. It's 8 tenths. So he's not making any ground right now either. It's to me like Evan Cooley just turned his fast lap at 135.296. So you can just see the gap. Evan turns his fast lap at a 55.296. McNeely 34.685. Almost over 6 tenths quicker is McNeely out front. He is hustling this race car in a big way. I talked to Jay Howard after the second race where McNeely got another victory, and he said, looking at the video, Rob, he's taking corners and carrying the corner speed that I'm kind of sucking up like, oh, I don't know if I'd do that. But he is. He's got so much confidence in the race car that he is hanging it out on the ragged edge. And that is paying off for him right now, no doubt about it. These teams and drivers will know that when they get to Indianapolis in May, they got to find something. They got to win some races here, because if McNeely can come out with a couple more wins, if he keeps stacking up these victories, he's going to lock this thing down early. And there's a lot of racing still to go. This is only the second of 8 weekends. The Oval obviously one as well to watch. 1.5 points for the Freedom 75 on Carbonite Classic at the Indianapolis Raceway Park. And McNeely looks good coming through there. What do you think about that? You're having a good look at this right now, Brendan. He is working all the curbs, and that car looks super balanced.
Yeah, it looks like he's using all the room he can to set up best for high-speed turn 6, which will carry your run all the way down to turn 10, so it's a very critical corner.
And you got to think about this. You're here, for the first time at NOLA in a full race situations. He was here last year as well. Are you ready for our understanding that next year you're going to be so much better prepared than you were this year, because you come in kind of as a raw rookie this year? This was Liam McNeely last year. He'd never been here before. Now he's out front in USF 2000. I'm sure that you'll be learning throughout the year, but I'm sure you're ready to get at it even again for 2026.
Yeah, definitely. Experience, it means a lot. And just knowing just the little bits and characteristics of the car and the track can really help you, give you that little extra bit over some of the rookies. And this season, that's really what I'm trying to learn to do. Learn the most that I can in preparation for next season, or if I learn fast enough, I could be in the fight at the end of this season.
I agree with you on that. And the funny thing is, the experience is something you can't buy. It's just time. You got to have track time, right? You can't just go out and, hey, I want a new engine. You can't buy experience, guys. You have to bide your time. You have to be patient. And that's what Brendan Cooley and all the other drivers in USF Juniors are getting here in 2025. McNeely's fast lap came on lap number 7, 134.685. He used it at 134.7. So he is setting the pace and keeping that pace as well. You saw the different racing line for Thomas Schrag. I thought early that maybe he was pushing through, but it seems like he has a bit of a different line coming through there to set up more for the exit of the corner. He has pulled a bit away here from G3 Argyros. He's almost identical lap times for Argyros and Jack Jeffers, so he's not in a position to close up on him either. Same goes for Cooley. He's about 2 tenths off of Jeffers. Macella's a little bit quicker on that last lap, but it's still 7 tenths of a second back. Gafera runs 7th, Garzone 8th, Cameron 9th, Ayrton Hauk now up into 10th. Ayrton back up into 10th again in race number 2. He started 11th, finished 10th. This time he started 15th and he's up to 10th. So he is really starting to dial things in there with the Benchmark Autosport Caddis. Great job for Ayrton Hauk. Privateer team, single effort there for Kevin and Hauk and his son Ayrton. They ran with DC Autosport last year. Don Connor, who ran that team, is now the engineer for Benchmark. That's a program run and managed by Kevin Hauk. Just a Sunday drive here in New Orleans for Liam McNeely. Lead now 6.6 seconds over Thomas Schrag. Really no super close battles on the track. If anything, it's a fight here between Ayrton Hauk, Brad Majman, and Anthony Martella. You throw Timmy Carell in there as well, because Majman's just a half a second behind Hauk. And to be honest, Martella right there with Majman. Those are the two Jay Howard teammates. In fact, Jay Howard teammates are 11th, 12th, and 13th. Majman, Martella, and Carell. This is Liam McNeely. You look at his career coming up through the ranks as well out of karting. Genetic Junior for a couple of years. A strong run in GB4 as well, where he was able to come away with a number of victories. Back there in 2023, 2 wins, 3rd overall. Last year, as I said, runner-up in USF Juniors on the strength of 5 wins, 8 top 5s, and maybe even more importantly, 12 top 10s. He had a couple of DNFs. There was an incident at VIR that took him out of the race. I think he had a couple of DNFs that held him back, but finished essentially right behind Max Taylor in the championship battle. This is shaping up very nicely for Liam McNeely. This is the dream start for any driver to come out of the gate with 5 straight wins to start the season, stacking on those 30-plus points. And as it runs right now, remember, he started on the pole. He's got the fastest lap. He's led the most laps, obviously. Nobody's taken that away. 14 laps down. This is going to be the final lap on the racetrack for McNeely. There's a possibility here, and a good possibility, of 33 points, a full points haul for McNeely to continue to stretch away. Again, only race number 2, and as I said before, Christian Rasmussen had a solid lead in 2020, that COVID year. Won a bunch of races to start the season, 5 of 7 or something like that. Then had a horrible weekend at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway where he finished at the back of the field in both races. The once 70-something point lead shrunk to, I believe, 3 points heading to Mid-Ohio, or just before that. And then from pole in the opening lap, he had an issue, drove off on the outside of the carousel on the opening circuit, the final corner on the racetrack. At the end of that race, Reese Gold was only 3 points behind. So the case study is there. Everybody's got to keep pushing. Liam's going to be able to have a nice little time to relax and work out at the shop in Fishers, Indiana, Jay Howard Driver Development. But, man, every other driver is going to be fighting to see what they can do when maybe something happens and they get an opening. Final lap on the racetrack, folks. Liam McNeely. I'm not going to stack up the back-to-back. We'll just call this 5 straight victories when he comes out of the final corner. Dream start to the season. I'm sure the family and fans over in London are going to be jacked up for this one. Unbelievable start to the campaign. 5 straight victories. He sweeps the weekend here in USF 2000 NOLA Motorsports Park. Liam McNeely takes the checkered flag in race number 3, round number 5. The fight to the finish was a good one for sure. Thomas Schrag able to outrun G3 Argyros. Jack Jeffers coming home in 4th. Another top 5 for Jeffers. Evan Cooley as well, P5. Teddy Masella in 6th. Caleb Gaffera 7th. Sebastian Garzone in 8th. Christian Cameron 9th. Here's that last battle of the top 10. Ayrton Hout gets 10th, but Martella and Carell able to get by Brad Majman. So Martella 11th, Timmy Carell 12th, Majman 13th, 14th, I believe, to Lucas Facuri. As the remainder of the field coming through. Ryan Janetta, Eddie Beswick, Vian Bossoff capping off the final drivers across the line. Brendan, a good one for sure there. Let's take the opportunity while they do the cool-down lap. I know that you need a lot of sponsors for this program. You got a great team behind you. Give me your sponsors and wrap it all up with how they can follow you on social media.
Yeah, I'd like to thank my sponsors, Innovel Global Logistics, ITI Intermodal, and then especially my parents for supporting me, being there for all the highs and lows, and just really helping me get to this point. And if anyone wants to follow me, my Instagram is just Brendan Cooley Racing, and then I should be the first one to pop up.
Congratulations, my friend. Good job.
Thank you.
I know you're a little nervous coming in, but you did a heck of a job. Brendan Cooley, folks, for Exclusive Autosport. Again, a young driver in USF Juniors. 3 solid finishes to start off the 2025 campaign, and you heard him talk a lot about the experience he expects to gain. All that time on the racetrack, the testing you're able to do. This is a young driver you're going to be watching coming through the ranks over the next number of years. His brother, Evan Cooley, strong run to P5 today in race number 3 after a podium in race number 2. Liam McNeely rolling down here, though. No one happier than Liam McNeely, I think, at the racetrack right now. Man, what a way to start the season. 5 straight wins. I don't know the last time we've had someone come out of the gate like that with 5 straight wins. I'll have to go to Jeremy Shaw and Tammy Valkoski to dive into the record books on that one, the archive for the USF Pro Championships, to see who indeed came away with it. This is impressive for McNeely. He'll work his way in to victory lane. Again, as I said, 4 different teams in the top 4. This has been kind of the case here. It's impressive. Jay Howard, VRD, Pabst, and Exclusive. I don't know that we're going to see a wild level of celebration here simply because of the fact that he's won the last 5 races. There's no relief because he's won so many. Right now, it's just a quiet confidence of McNeely. Again, you think how many times he's won here. That is 4 wins over 2 years because he was a winner last year in USF Juniors as well. He's going to want to come back to NOLA Motorsports Park whenever he can because he has got this thing rolling. McNeely will get out of the car. We'll wait for that, and then we'll head down to Victory Lane. USF Pro 2000 driver still to come. Look at that. Another big one there for Liam McNeely. Impressive. We had that yellow off the start, but we went green to checker after that. I love seeing that. Another fantastic run. Well done, juniors drivers. All these green to checker events is exactly what we're looking at. Unbelievable for sure. Folks, driver introductions start in about 23 minutes for USF Pro 2000. I'll be back up here in the booth for that one. There's Father Paul McNeely coming in to say hi. His mom's here this weekend as well. Had a chance to meet Liam's mom earlier today. What a weekend. There she is right there. She'll come in for a hug in a couple of seconds. But again, the McNeely family pretty happy there, yes. So happy for 3 straight wins for Liam McNeely. Folks, down to Victory Lane right now. USF Pro 2000 drivers will be getting ready to go. Hold on, don't go anywhere. Victory Lane celebrations after this. All right, folks, let's get at it here. One more race to go after this one. It's been a busy day here at NOLA Motorsports Park, as you know. A fantastic drive there up front. Green to checker once again for USF Pro 2000, or rather USF 2000 after that early yellow for a non-start. Otherwise, we went green to checker. Again, let's bring up the drivers here. 3 different teams, as I said right before I came down here on the broadcast. A fantastic run for all these drivers up front. Finishing 3rd place today for Pabst Racing, G3 Argyros. 3rd spot for G3. Coming home in 2nd, started on the outside of the front row, and he was trying to do everything he could to get the lead. Just didn't, but 3 straight podiums on the day for VRD Racing. Thomas Schrag back on the podium again. Consistent weekend for Thomas as he'll come home P2. Man, I'm telling you, I talk to this guy more than I talk to my fiance now. This is getting busy up here. Fantastic job, ladies and gentlemen. The winner today for J. Howard Driver Development, Liam McNeely. You know, the start of the season, you and I talked about the fact we get to practice doing these interviews. I didn't realize you'd take it literally. We keep doing them. Congratulations, man. Another fantastic run.
Yeah, you know, really good race from my side. Yeah, the boys gave me a great car again this afternoon. So, yeah, really good. I'm really happy to get another win.
Could you have dreamt this start to the season? Obviously, every driver says, I want to win every race, but did you think you'd be able to come out and be this strong?
No, not at all, really. But I think, the car's good at the moment, but, there's going to be times where other teams are going to get faster. So, yeah, it's good to get the wins now, but we got to keep working and push for IMS.
Temperature was going higher during the day. Any surprises on the racetrack? Was it greasy at all?
Yeah, it was a little different from this morning. Yeah, I had a bit of oversteer, but it was all good, really. And yeah, nice and controlled, so it was all good.
You've done this before. Hop on top of the podium. The collection is growing here. Another first place trophy for Liam McNeely as he wins his 5th straight race of the year, a commanding lead in the points championship. But there are drivers behind him, as I had said, who have been very consistent in those podium runs, those top 5 runs. You can never lift on the throttle in a program as competitive as this here in the USF Pro Championships. You do that, and you're going to find all the other drivers coming back. You got to keep your head down and keep digging. I have no doubt that's what you're going to see out of Liam McNeely. He has done a tremendous job, and as I said, getting used to talking to this guy at Victory Lane. It's 5 straight wins. Man, unbelievable weekend for Liam McNeely. 3 teams again, as I said, on the podium as well. Che Howard Driver Development, VRD, and Paps Racing. As I said, 4 different teams in the top 4 when you throw Exclusive Autosport in there as well. That's the quality and the level of competition we have between our teams here in USF 2000 as well. So, folks, this is the last time these guys are going to have to race in these suits this weekend. So the champagne is there. Drop your hats down. Let's get out of the way. Feel free to have some fun, folks. Grip it and rip it, guys. Let's get at it. Celebrations for race number 3 here at NOLA Motorsports Park. Yeah, they're going to go after Liam now, finally. There you go. That's what we're talking about. There it is. The celebration is done. Triple header for USF 2000 is completed. Such talented drivers in this series, folks. Can't wait to see them move their way up into USF Pro 2000 and eventually Indy next, and IndyCar, following in the footsteps of drivers like Renus VK and Kyle Kirkwood and so many other of the top drivers who came through USF 2000. That's all right, as well. We'll see if either of those drivers are able to get the job done in Long Beach here this afternoon. Folks, one more race to go, and again, it'll be a little bit before we're back at it. USF Pro 2000 up next to cap off the day.
Okay. Hold on, sorry. Come on, man.
You can feel confident Continental is the smart choice in tires.
Can they handle extremes?
Yep. Tested from the Texas desert to near the Arctic Circle.
Really?
Really.
Anything for the guy who finds that one pothole?
Yeah, road hazard coverage has your back.
For real?
Absolutely.
Were they made by like a bajillion engineers?
Well, closer to 100. Continental. Welcome to the smart choice in tires. you can feel confident Continental is the smart choice in tires.
Can they handle extremes?
Yep. Tested from the Texas desert to near the Arctic Circle.
Really?
Really.
Anything for the guy who finds that one pothole?
Yeah, road hazard coverage has your back.
For real?
Absolutely.
Were they made by like a bajillion engineers?
Well, closer to 100. Continental. Welcome to the smart choice in tires.
Folks, welcome back to NOLA Motorsports Park. We are going to go a little bit early here as everybody's ready. The cars were on the pit lane, so we're able to get things underway. Let's have a look at the grid here right now. Starting at the tail of the field will be the number 83 of Charles Finelli. Owen Tangevelu going to start in 18th position. He was scheduled to, could have started further up, but had that issue in qualifying. Race his way up in race number 2. We'll see if he can race his way up here again in race number 3. Tangevelu starting in the 18th spot, alongside Carson Etter for Exclusive Autosport in the number 92. Tangevelu for VRD Racing in the 84. Up to row number 8 now. Logan Adams has worked his way forward significantly throughout the entire weekend. In that last race as well, race number 2, Adams started 14th up to 10th. In race number 1, he started 15th and finished 11th. So a couple of strong finishes for Logan Adams. He's going to start 16th this time here. And again, very similar. He'll have to put his head down and start digging his way forward. Alongside him on row number 8 will be Sebastian Manson, the driver in the number 28 machine. Sebastian Manson out of Auckland, New Zealand for TJ Speed, starting deeper in the field in the number 15. Again, part of a battle, big battle earlier on in race number 2. He was able to get himself into 13th position. So all these drivers digging to get themselves forward to cap off this weekend. Row 7 will be Joey Brienza starting on the outside, the Exclusive Autosport number 91, the rookie starting 14th, alongside George Garce Arce from D-Force Racing in the number 10. Row number 12, or rather row number 6, 12th on the outside, Frankie Mossman, J. Howard driver development pilot in that number 6 machine. Remember, Mossman went from 12th to 7th, plus 5 in race number 2 for Mossman. He'll start alongside Nicholas Montiero in the number 9 for D-Force Racing. Row 5 will have Cooper Becklin in that number 2 machine. A better starting spot for Becklin. He was 13th in race 1, finished 16th. This time starting in 10th. Look for Cooper to put his head down and move forward. He'll start alongside his Turn 3 Motorsport teammate Tyke Durst in the number 93, who rolls off from 9th. Now up into row number 4, it'll be Matt Clark, the Canadian for Exclusive Autosport in the number 9. He needs a big recovery race, finishing 17th after getting forced off the racetrack over in turn number 4. Indeed, Clark starting in the 8th spot alongside Jace Denmark in the TJ Speed Motorsports number 26. Row 3 will be Michael Costello. Costello in the 20 for Pabst Racing, starting 6th, alongside Ariel Elkin, who worked his way up to the podium in 3rd in race number 2. Elkin in the 27 for TJ Speed. Row 2 will have Alessandro DiTullio. Much different approach this time. Now, he's not on the pole. He started on the outside of row number 4, so we'll see if he's able to work his way back forward. DiTullio in the 44 for Turn 3 Motorsports, cutting into that point lead held by Max Garcia, who will roll off P1. Alongside DiTullio will be Max Taylor out of Hoboken, New Jersey, in the number 88 VRD Racing machine. He finished in 5th in race number 2. In the front row, we'll see all Pabst. Jacob Douglas on the outside, Max Garcia on the outside. Douglas coming home P4 in race number 2, Garcia in 2nd. They will roll off from the front row. Those Pabst Racing cars with Garcia in the 18 and Douglas in the 19. There you have it. There's your grid, and here they come. The final race of the weekend. Man, we've been going since testing on Thursday. Friday, practice and qualifying. Saturday, qualifying and races. All races here today on a beautiful Sunday in New Orleans. 79 degrees trackside, blue skies, not a cloud to be seen. The end of our 9 races on the weekend. It has been stellar with these young drivers in the USF Pro Championships. Proud of them, 60 strong here this weekend. Drivers getting ready to get rolling for the last time here at NOLA Motorsports Park. We are green, green, green to start race number 3. Round 5 of the series here this year. Oh, the big run down into turn number 1. Hold your breath, folks. They're going to sweep wide. Garcia's going to try to hold the spot. Douglas looking to the outside, trying to see if he can't get it, but they both get a good jump. DiTullio up into 3rd. Excellent start for DiTullio to P3, and Costello, I believe, there. Douglas running the inside line. DiTullio thinking about the outside. I think we may have contact with a couple of drivers going into 3. or maybe just a driver dropping wheel. Look at DeTulio to the inside there. Wow, aggressive on the opening lap. Oh, that's nice to see. He's got the confidence. Oh, the drone coverage, fantastic here this weekend, following these drivers out of 4 through 5. That was actually Max Taylor, and it was Taylor actually, not Douglas, pardon me, it was Taylor who got a great start to go into second. DeTulio able to get by him, so Taylor able to grab that spot. He's now up into the 3rd spot for Taylor. 4th is Douglas. Here they come again through the chicane of 8 and 9. Max Garcia out to the early lead. He won here last year in USF 2000 as well. Oh, some aggressive racing. Some drivers driving the bottom of the racetrack trying to defend into turn number 10. That'll stack everybody up behind him. Look at this. Ariel Elkin trying to tuck it in here on Douglas. Ariel probably wasn't pleased with the defensive move down into the corner, wanted to stick that car to the inside. Here they come. What kind of pace does DeTulio have here now? You have a driver slowing on the inside of the racetrack there, coming up into 1. Joey Brienza with an issue here on the opening circuit. I don't have him setting an opening lap here. Now, if it's a transponder issue or potentially run to pit lane, I see him as still as active, but not sure what's happening here with Joey Brienza. Otherwise, Garcia, your leader. DeTulio 2nd. Taylor 3rd. Douglas and Elkin, your top 5. There's Elkin there on the number 27. Michael Costello behind him. Matt Clark up to 7th. Jace Denmark in 8th. Frankie Mossman 9th. Cooper Becklin in 10th spot. Nicholas Montiero 11th. George Garciarce in 12th. Owen Tenjavelu, who started all the way back at 18th. He's already up into 13th. So Owen having a great run from deep starting spots. Tough for him as he was underweight in initial qualifying, but has fought his way back. Manson runs 14th. Adams, Etter, Durst, and Finelli. Oh, big lock up there. I think that's Costello putting a ton of pressure here now on the 27 of Elkin. Yeah, look at Costello all over him right now. We talked to Michael in that pre-show, and he talked about the fact he didn't want to make the same mistakes that he made in race number 1. Indeed, a driver coming down into pit lane right now. That is the 91 of Brienza. He is going to be able to head back out. He actually rolled back up pit lane, so Brienza, whatever that issue was, he's heading out back on track again in the UBS exclusive Autosport machine. Look at this fight. Costello's going to try to run around the outside of Elkin. Elkin's going to have to go deep on the brakes. No, he elects to tuck back in. So Costello gets by for P5. 2 TJ Speed cars running together now because I believe Jace Denmark able to get by, and something happened to Matt Clark again. He's all the way down to 16th. Oh, tough for the drivers of the exclusive Autosport team. Brienza all the way back, Clark as well. Not sure what happened to Clark. Carson Etter in the pit lane as well. I know he's been battling a severely damaged shoulder. See later on whether or not that was the cause for Etter, but into pit lane. Oh, what happened to Matt Clark? Unbelievably bad luck. Strong podium finish in race number 1, off the track, and then a recovery to a certain level for Matt Clark in race number 2. Ended up finishing the 17th, having worked his way back forward, but got shuffled back late in that run. So a couple of tough finishes here for Clark. Man, horrible. Happens in racing, as we know it. It's just so tough. Talking to Mac, of course, coming into the weekend, was super excited about rolling in here P3 in the points. Fired up with the fact he's got great support from Corpay Cross Border Solutions, working for Exclusive Autosport, Kubine Motorsports, ARM, TNG Exotics. I know he and I were kind of talking about all the sponsors, the partners that have stepped up to help his journey. So, and that's what this program's all about. So many of these drivers have great people behind them. Mac's also working, I believe, with the Road to Racing Canada program and Sick Kids Hospital in Toronto. So, he and I, we talked about that, these programs he's got going. He's told me that he's essentially driving with purpose, both on and off the racetrack, which I think is awesome. And I guarantee that He'll be at Sick Kids when we get up there for the Toronto event. That hospital has just played a role in countless kids' lives. So good to see that a driver like Matt Clark in with some fantastic organizations and foundations. But not happening for him today. He's working his way back forward again, trying to see if he can't dig in. He's up to 15th. Edder's already out of the race, I believe. Finelli's moved forward. Tyke Durst with an issue, so not another good top 10 finish for Tyke Durst. It's been a good weekend, but it's not going to end well for Tyke Durst. Clark now up to 15th, but he's well back of Logan Adams. Quicker by about 0.2 of a second last time by, but 6.2 seconds back. I don't know what happened to Clark, but whatever it wasn't good. Tyke Durst back onto the racetrack. You see him there on driver's left coming out. He'll be a lap back. Yeah, there's Clark there coming across the line as well. Garcia out front, but it's a half a second now. Last time by, Tertulio taking a little into it. But remember, we talk a lot about that aero wash. Does Tertulio have a car that is good enough so he doesn't have to worry about that? Chase Denmark, I think, locking up a wheel coming into 4 there. You saw that big puff of smoke as they turned into 4, which leads, of course, out on the fastest part of the racetrack, 5, 6, and 7. This is where they are all together, all battling a bit of aero wash here. Let's check in on the diehards on the chat who have been a part of the action all day long. Sammy, I haven't looked for your email yet, but I will. So actually, you know what? We're sitting here right now. We're watching the action. This is that battle for the lead right now. This is how close it is up front. This is first and second, and they're making it happen. We're going to see a battle here pretty soon. Sammy, that is an affirmative. I've got the email. I'll get back to you tomorrow or Tuesday. Give me some time. It's been 6 races today. I'm exhausted. Garcia set his fast lap last time by. With a gap just over 0.4 of a second. 5 laps down of a scheduled 18. He got a long way to go in this one. Everybody just settling in. Getting in that groove, figuring out what kind of car they have. Can I move forward? Elkin turned the fast lap of the race, a 31.260. He's only a half a second behind Costello, but wasn't that much faster. Costello actually quicker than both Taylor and Douglas in front of him. But again, you're going to see that kind of seesaw, but what you're going to see is a full course yellow. Not sure what happened here for the full course yellow as the drivers are coming back around here. Potentially a driver having an issue over in turn 6, but we'll try to figure out what that is. All we can see right now is that full course yellow. Our camera crew doing their best to try to find that race car around the track. There you have it. Oh, it's Matt Clark. I was just going to say the yellow is going to play into the hands of Matt Clark. He is already out of the car. And that's going to be along the back straightaway, somewhere through 5, 6, and 7, where he is pulled to the inside of the racetrack. Wow. 4 top 5s to start the season. 3 top 5s to start the season for Matt Clark. A good weekend at St. Petersburg. Podium in race number 3. 17th in race 2. And it'll be 17th likely. It'll be less than 17th here in race 3. He's very likely going to finish 18th. Oh. That is gutting for the Canadian driver who we all know keeps digging to find the budget to keep moving forward here. Not sure what happened to the number 90 exclusive Autosport machine, but he is off. In fact, exclusive Autosport not happy with this one. They currently sit 17th, 18th, and 19th. Carson Eder done. Matt Clark done. Joey Brienz at the tail of the group, but he's a lap back. So it will not be a successful or happy finish for the exclusive Autosport USF Pro 2000 crew, as they will now have to put this weekend out of their minds and start thinking forward to the road course weekend at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the Indy GP weekend. They may just push his car behind the wall here right now, out of harm's way. Take Mac back to take him back to pit lane. Let's give you a re-rack here as we are 6 laps in. Garcia the leader, DeTulio in second, Taylor third, Douglas fourth, Costello fifth. Elkin with the fastest lap so far in 6th spot. Chase Denmark 7th, Frankie Mossman 8th, Cooper Becklin 9th, and from the very tail of the grid, 18th, Owen Tangevelu now up at the 10th, and he gets to press the reset for sure. Having started at the tail of the field, it'll be big for him. Nicholas Montiero in 11th, George Garce Arce in 12th, Sebastian Manson 13th, Logan Adams 14th, Charles Finelli running in 15th. Tyke Durst and Joey Brienza lap back. And Matt Clark and Carson Etter out of the race already. So overall, not at all what Exclusive Autosport was looking for. But again, we know they can turn it around in a big way. They've had a ton of success at the Oval at Indianapolis Raceway Park. They'll be looking forward to that one for sure. Good possibility with that car pushed away. They may be able to go green flag racing here. The AMR IndyCar safety team is getting themselves back to their spots. I believe we are going to go green flag racing as they come across. The pace cars, you can see, jumped out nicely. So here they come. Yeah, we're getting back at it. Great job for the AMR crew to get that car behind the wall. And how about this? Little sense of urgency. Tulio thinking about trying to go to the outside, couldn't do it. This is going to give a big run here to Taylor. Look at Max Taylor, full head of steam. Right to the bottom of the racetrack goes Garcia. Here's the lunge, then the defense. Lock up. Taylor around the outside. Top 6 drivers right there. Taylor's going to throw it up the inside of DeTulio. He'll lock the right front a little. DeTulio's going to run that rim. He'll get a better run out of the corner, and indeed, they'll be almost side-by-side coming to 5. Taylor wisely tucks back in. Garcia got super aggressive on the defense coming down into 3. But again, everybody taking a deep breath. Of course, those first couple of corners, you're up on the wheel. We talked to Brendan Cooley about the adrenaline that you have in the opening couple of laps before you kind of settle in to see where you are. Here they come down to 10. Defensive line to the inside by the driver there in P4. I think that's Douglas. A little shallower on the entry to try to stop that potential attack from behind. His teammate Costello. Costello's going to have a handful here with Ariel Elkin. We know that he can be aggressive when he needs to be. Elkin potentially by there, coming down into the brake zone. Oh man, this is wild stuff here right now. Look at the 2 TJ Speed cars there. Yeah, Elkin gets by, and right behind Costello now is Chase Denmark. Denmark down to the bottom. He's got Cooper Becklin. What a good run for Cooper. Rough day so far for Becklin, the driver to Portland, Oregon. Talked about the fact that he started further back in race number 2. Did not get the results he was hoping for there. Started 13th, ended 16th. But in this one here, Becklin having a much better run. That's it there. That's the battle. That's right there, 8th, 9th, and 10th. Or 7th, 8th, and 9th now. As Denmark, Becklin, and Tangevelu. He's been able to get by Mossman. Awesome run here for Owen Tangevelu, and not a driver we normally get. French with Vietnamese heritage as well. And he is a talent. Man, he's very quick. Good to have him here. And again, of course, his weekend went awry. Round 1 qualifying underweight, or round 2 qualifying rather underweight. Kind of set him back for both of these sessions. He did use his fastest time in race 2 to set race 3, but it's still, you're not going to get that much quicker when the drivers are out there in brand new tires. So, and in much cooler temperatures. But he has raced his way forward, putting on a fantastic show. Again, Tangevelu up into 9th from 19th, plus 10 hard charger in race number 2, and already 18th to 9th, so plus 9. Wow, that is big for Owen Tangivello, the VRD driver. Elkin, as we know, the fastest driver on the racetrack, able to get by Costello. Now, starting to hound Jacob Douglas for P4. Elkin on the podium in race number 2, finishing 3rd. There he is. Ariel Elkin. TJ Speed Motorsports had a rough weekend, no doubt about that, at St. Petersburg. Remember, not able to even get on track for race number 2. He was in the middle of a pretty aggressive and hard shunt in race number 1 that sent him to the tail of the field. Did not start race 2, but a solid finish in the opening round of the weekend as well. At 5th, ends up 3rd in race 2 and trying to make it 3 straight top 5s on the weekend. Here's your battle, 1st, 2nd, 3rd. Garcia, DeTulio, Taylor at the halfway point. Now it's lap 10. 8 to go. Cap off what's been a stellar weekend here at NOLA Motorsports Park. We thank all of those of you who have been tuning in throughout the day. We know other events are happening. You probably got multiple screens up if you're in like me, maybe a little Long Beach, maybe a little Masters. There's a question on the chat about whether or not we allow drivers to unlap themselves. We do pretty much allow the drivers, if they're super fast, to go racing, but you have to play super nice. That's the other thing as well. Again, you don't see as many yellows as we normally get. A lot of drivers, I don't know that we have a lot of guys unlap themselves that much, but they do, as we saw before. We watched G3 Argyros in race number 1 get a chance to, even though he was a couple laps down, get ahead and keep racing. They allowed him to do that as long as he didn't affect any other races that were on the track. So I think we do that, allowed to happen, but doesn't happen much at all, obviously. Adams and Garcia Arce able to get another spot. Again, Brienza and Durst a lap back. Here's your leaders, though. This one's not done yet. DeTulio just turned the fastest lap of the race. Now, here's the thing. We talk all about the aero wash. The best opportunities, of course, at a slower speed when they're rolling into a restart. Right now, Garcia leading the way. Max trying to get his 2nd win on the season. DeTulio keeping the low line. Get a lot of air over that front wing. 11 laps down, 7 to go. Watching the leader, Garcia, in that fast back section of the racetrack. This is where that aero really plays. You've got to be just far enough away to still get enough aero that you get that run and potentially can make a move down into turn number 10. But the problem coming through 8 and 9, every driver's telling me it's just as bad coming through there as well, where you come through that left-hand turn 9, you want to carry as much speed as you can and really roll it. It's so hard. But look at this, DeTulio deep on the brakes. Super close coming in here. Yeah, we're not done yet. We haven't seen a driver been able to make that big move there, especially here in USF Pro 2000, where the aero does play such a big role in these longer sweeping corners. Big run for DeTulio down into turn number 1. Still a couple of car lengths back. Taylor all by himself in 3rd. Douglas, Elkin, Costello. Those 3 drivers separated by less than a second. And you see them right there. Boom, 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 right on by. Essentially nose to tail. Not quite nose to tail, but close enough that they're all battling it out. Garcia, DeTulio, Taylor, Douglas, Elkin, Costello. Then you got to go a second and a half back to Jace Denmark, who's got about a half a second on Cooper Becklin, half a second back to Owen Tangevelu, and then a second and a half back to Frankie Mossman. He's got a full second on Montiero. So Mossman circling around here, currently running in the 10th position. I don't think he's going to hate that. Started 12th, finished 7th in race number 2, and remember, started a little further back here in this one too, and is now, again, running in the 10th spot. Sometimes you got a great hot rod, sometimes you're battling throughout the race to see what you can do and see what the best you can get. Mossman started in 12th, so 10th is +2. On the day, it's solid. It's not what you wanted coming into the weekend, but anytime you're carding a top 10, it's better than a DNF, that's for sure. Maybe a little clarification on the person who asked about the lap cars. Are lap cars allowed to unlap themselves under yellow? A wave around? No, we do not allow a wave around in this program. If you are a lap car, we go yellow and you're in, we will actually put you to the back. You'll still be the lap down. You don't get your lap back, but we often remove anybody within the middle of the battle on the yellow if you've brought yourself back in the middle of the fight, put you back to the tail of the field. "13 laps down, just a handful remaining. And we're not done here yet. Look at this. Ariel Elkin is not done. Elkin trying to reel in Jacob Douglas. And again, I'd have to go back and look. We haven't had many podiums with two teams, or a team getting 2 podiums. As they run on the racetrack right now, it's Pabst, Turn 3, and VRD. Man, the level playing field we have, the quality we have in our teams, just so many of them having strong weekends all told. And I love seeing 3 or 4 different teams in the top 4, top 5. That means a lot. That means that all these teams have the engineering staff, the talent, the ability to put a car in the top 5 podium or win. Like we said, 3 different winners in USF Juniors, just a single winner on the 3 races in USF 2000. Right now looking to have our second winner here this weekend, unless DeTulio can step up and grab 3 straight victories. Don't say it's over yet, that's for sure, with 4 to go. Looking at these lap times here, Jacob Douglas actually just went purple. The pressure from behind on Ariel Elkin, he's actually closing up on Max Taylor. Douglas 0.8 of a second back on Taylor. He gapped him by almost a little over 0.3 of a second on the last lap. We may see a battle for 3rd spot too. Jacob Douglas trying to get himself up on the box. Here's the beautiful USF Pro Championship scholarship livery. When you win a championship and get that scholarship to move up to the next level, you have the opportunity to run the scholarship colors. I think everybody understands what that means. That means you've got that scholarship. You've been able to work your way forward, and that is one of the key things all these drivers want. You want to wear those scholarship colors. You want to wear them proudly to show you what you got. And that's Max Garcia, of course, honoring that championship from last year in USF 2000. DeTulio was pretty erratic, rolling, trying to carry a ton of speed through turn number 10 that last time by using all the curbing. Didn't pay off. 3 to go. 3 laps remaining. Yeah, this is some good racing here. I am loving this battle, these battles. At least not so much battles, but the drivers chasing each other so hard. This is a Douglas trying to reel in Taylor. Elkin continuing to put the pressure on Douglas. Costello closing back in again in the back. The aero wash is, I think, stealing away a little bit of the side-by-side racing we could be getting, but for the most part, these drivers do whatever they can to potentially force a mistake out of one of their competitors. Last couple laps to cap off what has been a busy day. Mustang Challenge on track here as well. The Skip Barber Formula Race Series was here as well, as those drivers chasing a $100,000 scholarship to move into USF Juniors in 2026. 6 races on the docket here for the USF Pro Championships, 2 each for all 3 of our series, USF Juniors, USF 2000, and USF Pro 2000. My voice is a little sore, to say the least. It's been a long day. Warm temps, 79 degrees here, trackside right now. Humidity as well, of course, but a light breeze. I don't think we could have asked for much better weather. In fact, starting the season with St. Petersburg and here, it has been absolutely perfect. Warm, sunny, light breeze. That's what we had here this weekend as well. To think about the fact that our spring training event in early February, the weekend before St. Petersburg, actually got rained out on Sunday. The track was so saturated and wet that we weren't able to get the car safely on the track on Sunday. They did a couple of sessions in the afternoon on Saturday after morning seminars and all the content that we do, headshots and video. A full day of testing was scheduled to go for Sunday, but the track was just not safe enough for us to put the cars on track. Call this a payback, as we have had perfect weather here this weekend. There's your leader, Max Garcia. He has been challenged from the get-go, and that's really what this is all about. We're talking he's having to run 18 laps with DeTulio, his primary challenger of the championship, all over him, pushing hard. Don't make that mistake. Look how close DeTulio is now. We're going to see the white flag this next time by, an 18-lapper. It'll be 17 done. Does DeTulio have anything in there? This is it. There's the white flag. One more. Now you're DeTulio, the Ascendant. He's got a big run. He's closer than he has been the whole time. He knows it. He's there within about a length and a half. Yeah, but you lose the arrow coming through one. He's not close enough even to dive bomb, not even to send it deep into turn number 3. He does that, though. Look how much deeper on the brakes he goes. Closes to within a couple of car lengths. Trying to keep that inside line to get the air flowing over the front wing. Do you go for the race win, or do you take the points? Long race weekend, as we know. The consistency gets you to the end. 3 wins on the season already for DeTulio, winning the front end of the doubleheader at St. Pete. He's went back-to-back here. Garcia ready to fight for his second race win. He's holding them back so far. They really only have one opportunity for a lunge down into turn number 10. 2022, Alessandro DeTulio may have tried to send it. 2025's thinking, hey, I'm in the middle of a championship fight. We're pulling away as the 2 primary contenders right now, especially with the issues for Matt Clark. Here they come out of turn number 11, 12, and 13. Another double winner on the season. These guys have split the victories. Max Garcia for Pabst Racing is going to win race number 3 here at NOLA Motorsports Park. The margin of victory less than 0.03 of a second as DeTulio can charge it over the final couple of laps. Garcia with the win, DeTulio second, Taylor third. Jacob Douglas in fourth with the fast lap of the race. Good run for Jacob for sure. Ariel Elkin in fifth, Michael Costello sixth spot, Jace Denmark in seventh, Cooper Becklin eighth, Owen Tangevelu from 18th into 9th. Definitely 2 hard charger events, races for Tangevelu. Both of those races super impressive. And Nicholas Montiero able to round out the top 10. Rough ones, as we said, for Carson Etter, Matt Clark, both those drivers. Joey Brienza able to get ahead of Tyke Durst, the 2 drivers 1 lap down. Finelli ended up in 15th. But man, this one was all about a battle between the 2 drivers who have kind of emerged from the first couple of races as the primary title contenders, Max Garcia and Alessandro DeTulio. Both of these drivers out of Florida. Both of these drivers unbelievably accomplished American kart racers as well, with race wins and championships on their resumes. And they're ready to battle it out for a scholarship to go Indy Next Racing in 2026. Awesome day here at the Continental Tire Grand Prix of Louisiana. Thank you so much to New Orleans for Chamber of Commerce weather. Again, we could not have asked for much more. This is absolutely beautiful. And a great job for the drivers here as well. Just that single yellow flag for the issue with Mac Clark. Back-to-back DNS for Mac. It's always tough to come back from, but again, you could do it. You have to put your head down and win some races. And I talked about that with my driver analysts throughout the day. With a driver like Liam McNeely winning 5 in a row, everybody else has got to say to themselves, I got to go somewhere and win races. I got to do the same thing. I got to sweep weekends. I got to get to Road America and sweep that weekend. I got to win the Oval because that's points and a half. There are races that you can do to come back. McNeely's got a head of steam in that category, and so do Garcia and DeTulio here. But every one of these other racers know that, hey, you know what? I'm going to be good here. I'm going to be good here. Exclusive Autosport, always good on the Oval. Maybe that'll be the chance for Clark to come back and win. He's already won at the Oval before. So Max Garcia is going to bring it around the corner here into victory lane here momentarily. Max Taylor coming home in third. Good run for Max as well. The last driver to pull in is Garcia. There he is. The Pabst Racing crew going to meet him in here. Helmet's going to come off, as we know. Give him a chance to celebrate his second win of the season. He was able to win the back end of the doubleheader at St. Petersburg after DeTulio scored the win to get the season underway. Garcia winning race number 2, DeTulio 3 and 4, race 5 to Garcia. We got ourselves a championship here. So indeed, waiting for the celebration. Get those belts unbuckled. Give him a chance to get out of the race car. Julio coming over to give him a congratulations. There you go, folks. He's won at both venues so far. Excellent run there for Max Garcia with the victory. He'll get a chance to hug team owner Augie Pabst. The celebration continues. Folks, that's it here from the booth. I'm going to head down to victory lane as we get ready to cap off the weekend here. One more time, as we know, victory lane celebrations for the 3 drivers who made it here in race number 3. Garcia, DeTulio, and Taylor awaiting me down in victory lane. Thank you so much for tuning in, those of you who watch the races. Stay tuned for the victory lane. We'll cap it all off from there to wrap up a weekend here at NOLA Motorsports Park. All right, folks, let's wrap up this weekend. A fantastic run for the drivers here in USF Pro 2000. As we know, it's a long one. These drivers have been on the track quite a bit here throughout these last 4 days. We'll get things underway and cap off this Continental Tire Grand Prix of Louisiana. Finishing in third spot today for VRD Racing, Max Taylor. Max Taylor. Max. I got no mic. Check, check, check. Check, 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 check. Oh, there it is right there. Sue to the rescue. Thank you, Sue. Bringing in the driver who finished in the second position here today. A couple of wins already on the weekend. Alessandro DiTullio finishing in second for turn 3. And indeed, these drivers battling that air wash for sure. But the driver able to get the job done. Picture perfect throughout 18 laps. The winner today for Pabst Racing, Max Garcia. Max, how important was that for you to get the win? When that Alessandro got a couple of victories, you needed to get back here in victory lane.
Yeah, it was big. Wasn't really worried about him too much, to be honest. Just wanted to win for myself. But he kept me honest there for most of the race, and it was really fun.
Thinking about down the line to the next one, we're going to Indy next. You're right in the middle of the championship. You still have the championship lead. What are your thoughts heading to the next race?
Win.
It's always easy with you guys. Who do you want to thank today?
Everyone at Pabst Racing. It's just such an amazing team, and Advanced Auto Parts for making this happen.
There you go, buddy. You've done this before. Get on top of the podium for me. Excellent run there for Max Garcia. All these guys want to do is win. We know that. You win, you can get the job done. And, again, that's the next event, as I said, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Road Course for the Indy GP weekend. 2 weeks later, we're on the Oval at Indianapolis Raceway Park for the Freedom 90, where points and a half are up for grabs. But, again, as we know, folks, again, 3 different teams on the podium. I can't say it enough. The level playing field. We have so many fantastic operations in our program. We've had a bunch of different teams on the podium here, but again, this weekend here for this particular race, Pabst Racing P1, Turn 3 P2, and PRD P3. This is a fantastic battle. A championship right now, of course, after the first 2 events, shows Garcia versus DiTullio, but don't count out any of the other drivers here in the top 5 or top 10 because there is a lot of racing still to do before we cap things off at Portland in the middle of August. So we got 6 races in the books here today. 5 champagne sprays already done. 1 more celebration to cap off our trip to NOLA Motorsports Park here for 2025. Hats are on. Guys, grab that champagne for me. Have some fun. Grip it and rip it. The final champagne spray of the weekend. They'll go after each other this time. Yeah, those suits are going in the laundry tomorrow. But for now, they can enjoy themselves and cap off with this last celebration. Max Garcia getting the win. Taylor going at him as well. I like the tag team attack there on Garcia. Congratulations, gentlemen. Well done on the day today. All those drivers, a fantastic weekend of competition here for the USF Pro Championships presented by Continental Tile. And ladies and gentlemen, all of those of you who have watched this race, whether you're trackside here or whether or not you are watching on the YouTube channel, thank you so much. We appreciate it. We are done here at NOLA Motorsports Park. So on behalf of Anderson Promotions and Continental Tire, my name is Rob Howden. Bye for now.